Why do your wealth manifestations keep falling flat? The hidden consciousness levels you haven't mastered could be silently sabotaging your success. Have you ever poured your heart into affirmations, visualized your dream life, taken inspired action, only to see your bank account tell a different story? It's a frustration that gnaws at the soul, a persistent whisper of doubt that echoes in the quiet moments. What if I told you the secret to consistent abundance isn't in doing more, but in being more? That the true alchemy of wealth lies not in chasing external gains, but in mastering your internal landscape. Music swells slightly as gentle, ambient alchemical music plays, with a soft indigo and gold visual on screen. Elias Vance's voice continues, now slightly warmer and more direct. Welcome, fellow alchemists, to a profound exploration that will fundamentally shift your relationship with money. I'm Elias Vance, and in this audiobook, we are not just going to talk about wealth. We are going to alchemize it. We will journey from the whispers of scarcity to the roaring symphony of abundance, all by mastering the most powerful tool you possess, your consciousness. Today, we are unlocking the 22 alchemical keys to elevating your consciousness for limitless wealth manifestation. This isn't about quick fixes or fleeting gains. It's about a deep, sustainable transformation, a recalibration of your inner world that naturally and effortlessly draws prosperity into your outer life. On the left of your screen, you'll find our foundational playlist, The Foundations of Abundance. It's the perfect starting point if you're new to these concepts. And on the right, I have personally selected our guide, The 9 Alchemical Keys to Unlocking Your Financial Worthiness, full audiobook. Assist us in Abato as the perfect next step to deepen your practice. Let us begin. The bridge. Understanding the alchemical nature of wealth creation for years, I've worked with individuals who possessed all the outward markers of success, intelligent, driven, spiritually aware. Yet their financial lives felt like a constant uphill battle. They'd read the books, attended the workshops, practiced the affirmations, but the consistent flow of abundance remained elusive. They were caught in a paradox, trying to manifest wealth from a place of scarcity, a vibrational mismatch that created an invisible barrier. This is where the ancient art of alchemy offers a profound parallel. Alchemy wasn't just about turning lead into gold. It was about the transformation of consciousness. It understood that the external world is a reflection of the internal. If your inner state is one of limitation, your outer reality will inevitably mirror that. True wealth creation, then, is not an act of acquisition, but an act of becoming. It's an alchemical process of transforming your fundamental energy, your consciousness, into a vibrational match for the abundance you desire. It's about understanding that money is not a thing you chase, but a state of being you embody. This audiobook will equip you with the 22 alchemical keys to achieve just that. We'll explore the subtle yet powerful shifts in your consciousness that can unlock a floodgate of prosperity. These keys are not external tools you acquire, but internal truths you awaken. Ready to transform your lead into gold? Let's begin this vital journey. Chapter 1. The Spectrum of Consciousness, from Scarcity to Abundance. Frequency. At the heart of every manifestation, every desire, lies consciousness. It's the canvas upon which our reality is painted. But consciousness isn't a monolithic state. It exists on a vast spectrum, and where you reside on that spectrum dictates the quality and quantity of the experiences you attract. Imagine a radio dial. If you're tuned to a station broadcasting static and despair, that's the signal you'll receive. If you tune into a station playing uplifting music and inspiring news, that's the signal that fills your world. Your consciousness is that dial, and your financial reality is the broadcast you're receiving. We can broadly categorize this spectrum into 2 dominant frequencies: scarcity consciousness and abundance consciousness. Scarcity consciousness is characterized by fear, lack, competition, and a persistent feeling that there isn't enough to go around. It's the voice that whispers, "What if I can't afford it? What if I lose it all?" Everyone else has it, but I don't. It thrives on comparison and fosters a sense of energetic depletion. This is the state where money feels like a burden, a source of anxiety, and a constant struggle. People operating from scarcity see life as a zero-sum game, where one person's gain is another's loss. They often hoard, become overly protective of what little they have, and resist investing in themselves or others, fearing it will deplete their resources. This mindset literally contracts your energetic field, making it harder for anything to flow in. On the other end of the spectrum lies abundance consciousness. This is a state of trust, gratitude, generosity, and an unshakable knowing that there is more than enough for everyone. It's the internal resonance that says, "I am worthy of prosperity. Opportunities are abundant. My contributions are valuable." Abundance consciousness sees collaboration, celebrates the success of others, and understands that giving creates a vacuum that invites more in. When you operate from this state, money becomes a tool for expansion, a medium of exchange that flows easily, enabling you to contribute to the world and experience a life of freedom and fulfillment. The journey from scarcity to abundance is not a sudden leap, but a gradual elevation of your vibrational frequency. It's understanding that these are not just mental states, but energetic ones. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs all contribute to your overall vibration. When your vibration is low, aligned with fear and lack, you attract experiences that mirror that. When you consciously choose to elevate your vibration, to align with trust and gratitude, you begin to attract a different kind of reality, a reality of effortless prosperity. I remember speaking with a client, let's call her Clara, who was an incredibly talented artist. She'd spend hours creating beautiful pieces, but her exhibitions were always sparsely attended, and her sales were dismal. She'd lament, "Why does this happen? I put so much love into my work." When we explored her consciousness around money, it became clear. She deeply believed that artists were meant to struggle, that true art was incompatible with financial success. Her consciousness was vibrating at a scarcity frequency, telling the universe, "Give me struggle." For that is the path of the artist. The moment she began to shift her internal narrative, to see her art as a valuable contribution, deserving of financial reward, her reality began to change. This is the power of understanding the spectrum. Chapter 2. The Vibrational Dance. How energy shapes your financial reality. Everything in the universe is energy, vibrating at different frequencies. This isn't just a spiritual concept. It's a fundamental principle of quantum physics. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they are all energetic impulses that create a unique vibrational signature. And like attracts like, not just on a physical level, but on an energetic one. Your financial reality is a direct reflection of your dominant vibrational frequency. Think of it as a dance. Your internal energy is the dancer, and the external world, including your finances, is the dance floor. If the dancer is moving with grace, harmony, and confidence, the dance floor becomes spacious and inviting. If the dancer is tense, awkward, and fearful, the dance floor feels constricting and chaotic. When you hold beliefs like, "I am not good enough," or "money is hard to come by," these are low-frequency vibrations. They create an energetic field around you that repels abundance. It's like trying to attract a magnet by holding another magnet with the same polarity facing it. They simply push each other away. Your energetic frequency acts as a beacon, signaling to the universe what kind of experiences you are ready to receive. The law of attraction, often misunderstood, is simply the law of vibrational resonance. It states that you attract into your life that which is a vibrational match to you. If your dominant vibration is one of lack, you will attract more lack. If your dominant vibration is one of gratitude and appreciation, you will attract more reasons to be grateful. This is why simply thinking about money isn't enough. You can affirm, "I am wealthy 1,000 times a day." But if your underlying emotional state is one of anxiety about bills, fear of not having enough, or guilt about desiring wealth, your vibration will remain low. The universe doesn't respond to the words you speak as much as it responds to the energy you emit. It's the subtle, energetic undercurrent that truly shapes your reality. To truly manifest wealth, you must align your internal energy with the vibration of the wealth you wish to receive. This means not just thinking about abundance, but feeling it. It means embodying the emotions associated with financial freedom, security, joy, generosity, peace, and empowerment. This isn't about pretending. It's about consciously cultivating these states until they become your natural energetic signature. Let's consider this from a quantum perspective. Everything exists as potential energy until it is observed or interacted with. Your desires, your financial goals, exist as potentials in the quantum field. Your consciousness, your dominant vibration, acts as the observer that collapses this potential into a tangible reality. If your consciousness is consistently broadcasting a signal of scarcity, it collapses potentials of lack. If it broadcasts a signal of abundance, it collapses potentials of prosperity. It's a dynamic dance, constantly requiring our awareness. Are you aware of the energetic signals you are sending out? Are you consciously choosing to dance with abundance, or are you allowing fear to dictate your steps? The choice and the power are entirely yours. Chapter 3. Unmasking Subconscious. Sabotage, the hidden scripts of financial limitation. We often believe we are in complete control of our thoughts and actions, especially when it comes to something as crucial as our finances. But beneath the surface of our conscious awareness lies a vast ocean of subconscious programming, beliefs, memories, and patterns that were formed in our early years, often without our direct consent. These subconscious scripts are incredibly powerful, acting like invisible puppet strings that dictate our behavior and, consequently, our financial outcomes. Think of your conscious mind as the captain of a ship, and your subconscious mind as the vast, deep currents that actually steer its course. The captain can issue commands, but if the currents are strong and running in a different direction, the ship will inevitably be pulled off course. These subconscious money beliefs can manifest in numerous ways. Inherited beliefs. Many of us unconsciously carry the financial beliefs of our parents, grandparents, or cultural upbringing. If they spoke about money with fear, scarcity, or shame, those patterns can become deeply embedded within us. Phrases like, "money doesn't grow on trees," "it's a dog-eat-dog world," or "we can't afford that," can become deeply ingrained subconscious directives. Past traumas. Negative financial experiences, such as debt, loss, or betrayal, can create subconscious fears that we may not consciously remember or acknowledge. These traumas can lead to subconscious self-sabotage, such as making impulsive financial decisions or avoiding opportunities for growth. Societal conditioning. We are bombarded with messages about money from a young age, through media, advertising, and peer groups. If these messages emphasize that money is the root of all evil, that wealthy people are greedy, or that spiritual people should be poor, these can become subconscious barriers to our own prosperity. Internalized guilt. For many spiritually minded individuals, there's a deep-seated guilt associated with wanting or having money. The belief that materialism is inherently bad, or that suffering is a sign of spiritual purity, can lead the subconscious mind to actively sabotage any attempts at financial success. These subconscious programs operate below the level of conscious awareness, yet they exert a dominant influence. You might consciously desire financial freedom, but if your subconscious believes you are unworthy of it, it will create scenarios that confirm that belief. This can look like consistent overspending, missed opportunities, an inability to negotiate effectively, or a perpetual feeling of being behind. I once coached a woman named Sarah. She was a gifted therapist, deeply compassionate and genuinely wanted to help her clients. She'd set her prices very low, believing that charging more would be exploitative. Her subconscious script was, "I must suffer to serve." As a result, her practice struggled, and she lived paycheck to paycheck, feeling resentful and burnt out. We had to excavate those deep-seated beliefs to understand where they came from, and then consciously begin to rewrite them. It wasn't easy, but as she began to shift her subconscious understanding of her own worth, her practice flourished, and she was able to serve even more people from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Unmasking these subconscious scripts is the first alchemical step towards freedom. It requires introspection, honesty, and a willingness to look beneath the surface. It's about understanding that your past programming doesn't have to dictate your future reality. You have the power to rewrite those scripts and liberate yourself from the hidden patterns that hold you back. Chapter 4. The Paradox of Desire. Why wanting money can push it away might sound counterintuitive, even heretical to some. After all, isn't the entire premise of manifestation about desiring what you want? And isn't money what many people desire most? Yet there's a subtle but critical distinction. The energy behind your desire matters immensely. The way you desire something can either pull it towards you or push it away, creating what I call the paradox of desire. When your desire for money is rooted in a feeling of lack, of not having enough, or of needing it to be happy or safe, it's a low-frequency desire. This type of desire broadcasts a signal of lack to the universe. You're essentially saying, "I don't have this, and I'm desperately unhappy because of it. Please give me what I lack." The universe, being a perfect mirror of your energetic state, will respond by reflecting back more of that lack. You become like a person standing in the desert, desperately craving water, and calling out for it so loudly that you scare away any approaching oasis. This is the core of the subconscious sabotage we discussed earlier. Your conscious mind wants wealth, but your subconscious is broadcasting a signal of desperation and unworthiness. This creates an energetic tension, a misalignment that prevents the manifestation from occurring. The paradox is that when you desire money from a place of already feeling abundant, from a state of trust and appreciation for what you already have, it becomes a high-frequency desire. This desire isn't born of need, but of expansion. It's a joyful anticipation, a natural extension of your current state of well-being. It's like the gardener who, already feeling the joy of a bountiful harvest, plants more seeds with gentle confidence, knowing that the seeds will flourish in fertile ground. Think about it. When you are truly happy, fulfilled and at peace, do you find opportunities and positive experiences flowing to you with ease? Or do you find yourself constantly chasing and struggling? Most people, when they are in a state of joy and contentment, attract more positive experiences. This is because their vibration is high, and they are a match for the good things life has to offer. So how do you shift from a desire rooted in lack to a desire rooted in abundance? Cultivate gratitude. Make a daily practice of acknowledging and appreciating what you already have. Not just material possessions, but your health, relationships, opportunities, and even the money you currently possess, no matter how little. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. Raising your vibration, feel the feelings of wealth now. Instead of focusing on the future acquisition of money, focus on embodying the feelings that wealth would bring: security, freedom, peace, joy, generosity. Visualize yourself experiencing these feelings now. What does it feel like to be financially free? To be able to help others? To live without money worries? Focus on contribution and value. Instead of simply wanting money for its own sake, focus on the value you can create or the contributions you can make. When your intention is to serve and to offer value, money often flows as a natural consequence. Release attachment. This is perhaps the most challenging, yet most crucial step. When you are overly attached to the outcome, when you are desperate for money to appear, you create energetic resistance. Practice detachment by focusing on your aligned actions and trusting the process, knowing that what is meant for you will find its way to you. It's a subtle shift in energy, a recalibration of your intention. When you desire from a place of fullness, not emptiness, you create a powerful magnetic pull. You are no longer pushing money away with your desperation. You are inviting it in with your resonance. Chapter 5. Self-assessment. Identifying your current consciousness level for wealth. To ascend the spectrum of consciousness, you must first know where you stand. Self-assessment is not about judgment. It's about honest observation. The alchemist's keen eye for understanding the raw materials before transformation. Where is your consciousness currently vibrating in relation to wealth? Let's explore some indicators. These aren't absolute definitions, but rather a spectrum of common energetic signatures, indicators of a scarcity consciousness, low vibration, constant worry about money. Do you find yourself frequently preoccupied with bills, debt, or the fear of not having enough? Does money occupy a disproportionate amount of your mental and emotional energy? Focus on lack and limitation. Is your internal dialogue dominated by phrases like, "I can't afford that, it's too expensive, there's not enough time, money, opportunity"? Comparison and envy. Do you frequently compare your financial situation to others and feel envious or resentful of their success? Do you believe others have it easier or that opportunities are unfairly distributed? Hoarding or extreme frugality. Is there a deep-seated fear of spending money, even on essentials or investments that could enhance your life or income? Does the thought of parting with money trigger anxiety, resistance to giving? Do you feel a strong aversion to generosity, seeing it as a depletion of your limited resources rather than a flow of energy? Blame and victimhood. Do you tend to blame external circumstances, other people, or the economy for your financial struggles? Do you feel powerless to change your situation? Guilt around wealth. Do you feel uncomfortable with the idea of being wealthy, believing it makes you materialistic, greedy, or less spiritual? Do you associate money with negative traits? Focus on hustle and overwork. Do you believe that the only way to make money is through relentless, often joyless effort? Is your identity tied to being constantly busy and working hard, even to the point of exhaustion? Indicators of an abundance consciousness, high vibration. Trust and faith. Do you possess an underlying trust that resources are available and that opportunities will present themselves? Do you feel a sense of inner security, independent of your current bank balance? Gratitude and appreciation. Do you regularly acknowledge and appreciate what you have, including your current financial situation, no matter how humble? Generosity and openness to giving. Do you find joy in sharing your resources, time, or talents, understanding that giving creates a flow? Belief in opportunity. Do you see abundance as a natural state, believing that there are ample opportunities for wealth creation and that you are worthy of receiving them? Focus on value creation. Is your primary drive to offer value, contribute meaningfully, and solve problems with wealth as a natural byproduct? Empowerment and agency. Do you feel in control of your financial destiny, understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape your reality? Peace and calm around money. Do you experience a sense of peace and ease when thinking about or managing your finances? Joyful, aligned action. Do you engage in work and activities that genuinely excite and fulfill you, seeing them as expressions of your highest potential? Take some time, perhaps with a journal, to honestly reflect on these points. Where do you find yourself most often? Be gentle with yourself. This is an exploration, not an indictment. The goal is awareness. This awareness is the first spark of alchemical transformation, illuminating the path from where you are to where you aspire to be. I remember a client, David, who, when assessed, showed a clear pattern of scarcity. He constantly worried about losing his job, even though he was a highly valued employee. His internal dialogue was filled with what-ifs and fears of financial ruin. He'd meticulously budget every penny, not out of conscious financial strategy, but out of deep-seated fear. When we identified this, he was initially resistant, saying, "But Elias, I have to worry. That's how I protect myself." It took time for him to understand that his worrying was not protecting him. It was actively repelling the abundance he craved. By consciously choosing to shift his focus from fear to gratitude for his current security, he began to see new opportunities emerge, and his financial stress began to dissipate. This shift began with an honest self-assessment. Chapter 6. The Alchemy of Emotion. Healing resistance and embracing worthiness. Emotions are the language of your energy. They are the barometers of your consciousness, signaling whether you are aligned with abundance or operating from a state of lack. To truly alchemize your financial reality, you must become adept at understanding, processing, and transforming your emotional landscape, particularly around money. Often, our desires for wealth are mixed with a cocktail of conflicting emotions. We may desire financial freedom, but simultaneously harbor feelings of guilt about wanting money, fear of losing it, shame about past financial mistakes, or resentment towards those who have more. This emotional dissonance creates an energetic blockage, a resistance that prevents abundance from flowing. The alchemical process here involves two key elements: healing resistance and embracing worthiness. Healing resistance. Resistance shows up as tension, anxiety, or a feeling of pushing against something. When it comes to money, resistance can manifest as avoiding financial tasks. Do you procrastinate on budgeting, paying bills, or reviewing your investments? Dismissing opportunities. Do you find yourself unconsciously finding reasons why a new financial opportunity won't work? Defensiveness. Do you become defensive or anxious when discussing your finances? Inner conflict. Do you feel a tug-of-war between your desire for wealth and your spiritual or ethical beliefs about money? To heal this resistance, we must first acknowledge it without judgment. Then we can begin to gently explore the root cause. Often, it stems from those subconscious beliefs we discussed. The alchemical solution is not to suppress these feelings, but to transmute them. This can be done through emotional release techniques. Practices like EFT, emotional freedom techniques, or journaling can help you express and release pent-up emotions associated with money. Mindful awareness. Simply observing your emotional reactions to financial situations without acting on them can create space for change. Notice the feeling, acknowledge it, and then consciously choose a different response. Shifting focus. Actively redirect your attention from what you fear to what you desire and what you are grateful for. Embracing worthiness. At the deepest level, our ability to receive abundance is directly tied to our sense of worthiness. If you subconsciously believe you are unworthy of wealth, you will create or attract circumstances that confirm that belief. This is perhaps the most insidious form of self-sabotage. What does it mean to be worthy? It means recognizing your inherent value as a human being, separate from your achievements, your possessions, or your financial status. It means understanding that you are deserving of good things, including financial prosperity, simply because you exist. Many spiritually minded individuals struggle here. They may believe that worthiness is earned through suffering, sacrifice, or asceticism, making the pursuit of wealth feel like a betrayal of their spiritual path. This is a misconception. True spirituality is about wholeness, and wholeness includes embracing all aspects of life, including material prosperity, as a gift and an expression of the divine. Embracing worthiness involves affirming your intrinsic value. Regularly remind yourself that you are inherently worthy. Use affirmations that resonate with you. I am worthy of abundance. I am deserving of financial freedom. My worth is not tied to my bank account. The mirror of worth practice. Look into a mirror and With unwavering intent, declare your worthiness. This practice, when done consistently, can powerfully reprogram subconscious beliefs. Releasing guilt. Acknowledge any guilt you feel around wanting or having money, and consciously choose to release it. Understand that wealth can be a powerful tool for good, and your desire for it is natural and aligned. Self-care, prioritizing your well-being, physically, mentally, and emotionally, is an act of claiming your worthiness. It signals to yourself and the universe that you value your existence. The journey of embracing worthiness is a profound act of self-love. It is the alchemical process of transforming self-doubt into self-acceptance, and through that, unlocking the door to a life of limitless prosperity. Chapter 7. Transmuting Lead into Gold. Practical tools for raising your vibration. Now that we understand the principles, the spectrum of consciousness, the vibrational dance, the power of the subconscious, the paradox of desire, and the importance of emotional states and worthiness, it's time to move into the practical alchemical tools. These are the techniques that help us actively transmute lower frequency energies into the higher vibrations that attract abundance. Remember, the goal is not to force change, but to gently guide your energetic system. It's about creating consistent practices that gradually elevate your vibration. Here are some potent alchemical tools. The gratitude ritual. How? Each morning, before you even get out of bed or before you start your day, take 5 minutes to list at least 10 things you are grateful for. Be specific. Instead of just, "I'm grateful for my house," say, "I'm grateful for the cozy warmth of my home, the safety it provides, and the peace I feel within its walls." You can do this in a journal mentally, or even by speaking them aloud. Why it works. Gratitude instantly shifts your focus from lack to abundance, raising your vibrational frequency and signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive more of what you appreciate. The feeling is the secret. Meditation. How? Find a quiet space. Close your eyes and begin to visualize your desired financial reality. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel the relief of no longer worrying about bills. Feel the joy of gifting something special to a loved one. Feel the security of a healthy savings account. Immerse yourself in the emotions of abundance. Hold these feelings for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Why it works. This technique aligns your energetic frequency with your desires. You're not just asking for something. You are becoming a vibrational match for it, which is the most powerful form of manifestation. The Mirror of Worth Practice. How? Stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself directly in the eyes. Begin to affirm your worthiness, speaking with conviction. Start with simple statements like, "I am worthy," "I am deserving," "I am enough." Gradually move to more specific affirmations related to wealth, such as, "I am worthy of financial abundance," "I attract wealth easily and effortlessly." Repeat these affirmations for at least 5 minutes daily. Why it works. This practice directly addresses subconscious beliefs of unworthiness by creating a powerful, embodied experience of self-acceptance and value. It is a direct confrontation and reprogramming of self-limiting narratives. The forgiveness. Ledger. How? Create a ledger in your journal. On one side, write down people or situations you need to forgive regarding money, e.g., a past business partner, a family member who impacted your finances, even yourself for past financial mistakes. On the other side, write down your intention to release this resentment and embrace peace. You can even write a symbolic entry like, "Forgiveness for name situation, shak peace." Why it works. Resentment and unforgiveness are heavy, low-frequency emotions that create energetic blockages. Releasing them frees up significant energy that can then be redirected towards attracting abundance. This practice is particularly powerful for healing spiritual guilt around money, mindful spending, as appreciation. How? When you spend money, do so with full awareness and appreciation. Instead of thinking, this is costing me, think, this is an exchange of energy. I'm using this money to receive value, joy, convenience, and I appreciate the opportunity to do so. I trust that more will flow back to me. Why it works. This practice transforms a potentially anxiety-provoking act into an act of gratitude and trust, reinforcing your abundance frequency even during transactions. These tools are not a one-time fix, but practices. Like any alchemist honing their craft, consistency is key. The more you engage with these techniques, the more you will reprogram your subconscious, elevate your vibration, and align yourself with the flow of effortless abundance. Chapter 8. Energetic Alchemy. Daily Practices for Cultivating Abundance. Frequency building a life of lasting abundance is not about a single breakthrough. It's about cultivating a new way of being, day in and day out. It requires the consistent application of alchemical principles to your daily life, creating a sustained, high-vibration frequency that naturally attracts prosperity. These daily practices are the bedrock upon which your abundance is built. Let's outline a potential alchemical daily routine designed to infuse your life with the energy of abundance. Morning ritual, the dawn of abundance. Awakening with gratitude. 5 or 10 minutes. As mentioned, start your day by consciously acknowledging what you're grateful for. This sets a positive, energetic tone. The feeling is the secret meditation. 10-15 minutes. Connect with the emotions of your desired financial reality. Feel the abundance now. This primes your energetic field for the day. Affirmations of worthiness. 5 minutes. Stand before your mirror and declare your inherent value and your right to prosperity. Speak with conviction, setting intentions for the day. 2 minutes. Before diving into tasks, set a clear intention for your day. For example, my intention today is to act from inspiration and create value with ease. Or, my intention today is to be a magnet for abundant opportunities. Throughout the day, the flow of abundance. Mindful moments. Throughout the day, take short pauses to check in with your emotional state. If you notice yourself slipping into scarcity or anxiety, gently redirect your focus back to gratitude or your desired feelings. Conscious spending to receiving. Every financial interaction, from buying coffee to receiving a payment, is an opportunity to practice mindful exchange and appreciation. Treat every transaction as a sacred energetic exchange. Value creation focus. When engaged in work or any activity, focus on the value you are offering or the problem you are solving. Allow the abundance to flow as a natural consequence of your contribution. Visualizing abundance. Keep images or reminders of your financial goals visible. Take a moment during the day to visualize yourself having already achieved them and feel the accompanying emotions. Evening ritual. The dusk of integration. Review and release. 5 minutes. Briefly reflect on your day. What went well? Where did you excel? Were there moments of challenge? Without judgment, acknowledge your experiences. If you encountered scarcity thoughts, gently acknowledge them and release them, knowing you have the power to choose differently tomorrow. Gratitude for the day. 5 minutes. Before sleep, list 3 things you are grateful for from your day. This reinforces positive emotional patterns. Energetic clearing. Optional. 5 minutes. Some find it helpful to visualize a cleansing light, such as gold or white light washing over them, clearing any residual low-frequency energy from the day. Key principles for daily practice. Consistency over intensity. It's better to engage with these practices for a short duration every day than to have intense sessions sporadically. Personalization. Adapt these practices to what resonates most deeply with you. If a certain meditation technique feels more powerful, use that. If journaling is your preferred method, lean into it. Joyful engagement. Approach these practices with a sense of exploration and joy, not as chores. The energy you bring to them is paramount. Trust the process. Trust that by consistently showing up for yourself and your energetic cultivation, you are actively creating the conditions for abundance to manifest. I remember working with a client who felt overwhelmed by the idea of daily routines. She tried to meditate for 30 minutes, journal for an hour, and do affirmations all day, only to burn out. We simplified it. We focused on just 3 things. Waking gratitude, a 5-minute feeling is the secret visualization, and mindful appreciation during her morning coffee. That was it. And over time, as she built consistency and felt the positive shifts, she naturally expanded her practices. The key was starting small, making it sustainable, and finding joy in the process. This is the essence of cultivating abundance frequency, a gentle, persistent, and joyful elevation of your energetic state. Chapter 9. Conscious Stewardship. Aligning action with elevated being, having cultivated a higher consciousness frequency. The next alchemical step is to ensure that your actions are in direct alignment with this elevated state. This is the practice of conscious stewardship. It's about moving beyond simply feeling abundant and beginning to act from that place of abundance. With wisdom, integrity, and purpose, scarcity consciousness often leads to impulsive, fear-driven actions, hoarding, excessive saving out of fear, or making financial decisions based on desperation. Abundance consciousness, however, guides us toward actions that are not just financially beneficial, but also soul-aligned and contribute to our overall well-being and the well-being of others. Conscious stewardship involves several key elements. Inspired action versus forced action. Forced action, hustle mindset. This is action driven by fear, obligation, or a sense of lack. It feels like a struggle, draining your energy. You're trying to force an outcome, often without clear guidance or enthusiasm. It's the equivalent of trying to push a river uphill. Inspired action, abundance mindset. This is action that arises from a place of clarity, intuition, and alignment. It feels natural, often exciting, and flows with ease. It's not about doing more, but about doing what you are called to do, when you are called to do it. It's like stepping into the current of the river and letting it carry you. How to discern? Ask yourself, does this action feel expansive or contractive? Does it light me up with enthusiasm, or does it feel like a burden? Is this an intuitive nudge, or a fear-driven compulsion? Aligned investing and financial decisions. This isn't just about choosing stocks or assets. It's about investing your energy, your time, and your money in ways that resonate with your values and your vision for abundance. Ask, does this investment align with my vision? Does it contribute positively to the world? Does it feel energetically right for me? Does it offer potential for growth without compromising my core values? This might mean investing in businesses that reflect your ethics, or simply choosing to spend your money on experiences and resources that genuinely enrich your life and support your growth. Generosity as a practice. When you operate from abundance consciousness, giving becomes a natural expression, not a sacrifice. Conscious stewardship involves a deliberate practice of generosity. This doesn't necessarily mean large monetary donations, though it can. It can be giving your time, sharing your knowledge, offering support, or simply spreading kindness. Understand that when you give from a place of fullness, you create energetic space for more to flow to you. It's a vital part of the alchemical cycle of receiving and releasing. Resourceful management. Abundance is not about uncontrolled spending. It's about wise and purposeful management of your resources, time, energy, and money. Conscious stewardship means being a responsible guardian of your abundance. This involves mindful budgeting, tracking your finances, and making conscious choices about how you allocate your resources to support your goals and your well-being. It's about being intentional, not restrictive. Integrity in transactions. Operating from an elevated consciousness means conducting all your financial dealings with honesty, transparency, and integrity. This builds trust and reinforces your energetic alignment with true prosperity, which is always founded on ethical principles. I recall a situation with a client who was incredibly successful in her business. She had an opportunity to take on a large contract that promised significant financial gains, but it involved cutting corners ethically and compromising on her core values. Her initial instinct was to say yes, driven by the scarcity thought, "This is too good to pass up." However, as she practiced conscious stewardship, she paused. She connected with her elevated state and asked, "Does this align with who I am and the energy I wish to embody?" The answer was a resounding no. She declined the contract, even though it meant a financial sacrifice in the short term. Within weeks, a different, more aligned opportunity arose that not only offered significant financial reward, but also felt deeply fulfilling and ethically sound. This is the power of aligning your actions with your elevated being. Your actions become a sacred dance with the universe, guided by wisdom and integrity. Chapter 10, Beyond Hustle, the Power of Inspired. Aligned action. The hustle culture has dominated modern discourse around success for too long. We've been conditioned to believe that relentless work, constant grind, and sacrificing personal well-being are the prerequisites for financial achievement. But from an alchemical perspective, this approach is not only unsustainable, but fundamentally misaligned with the principles of true abundance. Hustle is often driven by scarcity, fear, and a desperate need to prove oneself. It's a manifestation of low-frequency energy. Inspired action, on the other hand, is the alchemical counterpart to the hustle. It's action that flows from a place of higher consciousness, alignment, and inner knowing. It's not about doing more, but about doing better, with greater ease, and with more potent results. Let's break down the fundamental differences. Hustle mindset, driven by fear, lack urgency, external validation, feels like striving, forcing, exhaustion, pressure, anxiety, focus on the effort and the quantity of work. Outcome often leads to burnout, diminishing returns, and a feeling of never being enough. Energy, contractive, draining, depleting. Inspired action, driven by intuition, inner guidance, passion, alignment. Contribution feels like flow, ease, excitement, creativity, natural progression, focus on the purpose, the value, and the energetic alignment of the action. Outcome leads to sustainable success, greater fulfillment, and often accelerated results. Energy, expansive, uplifting, generative. So, how do you transition from the hustle to inspired action? Cultivate inner stillness. Before taking action, create space for stillness. This could be through meditation, deep breathing, or simply quiet reflection. This stillness allows your intuition to speak. Listen to your inner guidance. Pay attention to those gut feelings, those quiet nudges, those sparks of excitement. They are your internal compass pointing you toward inspired action. If a task or opportunity doesn't feel right, it's often a sign that it's not aligned with your highest good or current energetic trajectory. Focus on value, not just volume. Ask yourself, what action will create the most value with the least energetic resistance? It might be a single potent communication rather than a flurry of activity. Embrace imperfection. Inspired action doesn't mean waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. It means taking the best, most aligned step forward with the information you have, trusting that further clarity will unfold. The universe rewards movement in the right direction. Honor your energy. Recognize that your energy is your most valuable resource. Inspired action honors your energy by moving when you have clarity and enthusiasm, and resting when it's time to recharge and integrate. Burnout is a sign that you've strayed from the path of inspiration. I remember a client who was working tirelessly to build his coaching business. He was constantly emailing potential clients, posting on social media, and offering webinars, all from a place of frantic energy. He was burned out and seeing very little return. We shifted his focus. Instead of hustling to get clients, we focused on creating one truly high-value piece of content that deeply addressed his ideal client's core pain points. He poured his inspired energy into that one creation. The response was overwhelming. It attracted more aligned clients and opportunities than months of his previous frantic efforts. This is the power of moving beyond the hustle and stepping into the flow of inspired action. It's not about working less. It's about working smarter with higher energy and with the universe as your co-creator. Chapter 11. The Mirror of Worth. Reprogramming subconscious money beliefs. We've touched upon subconscious programming, but now it's time for a direct alchemical technique to dismantle those deeply ingrained financial limitations. The Mirror of Worth practice. This is where you confront your subconscious beliefs head-on, using the power of your own gaze and voice to rewrite your internal narrative. Your subconscious mind, particularly your self-image, is like a mirror. It reflects back to you what it believes to be true about you. If your subconscious holds beliefs of unworthiness, lack, or financial ineptitude, it will project those beliefs onto your reality, creating circumstances that confirm them. The Mirror of Worth practice is designed to intentionally change what the mirror reflects. Here's how to perform this powerful practice. Find your sacred space. Choose a private place where you won't be interrupted. A bathroom mirror or a full-length mirror in your bedroom often works best. Ensure you have at least 5 to 10 minutes of uninterrupted time. The gaze of truth. Stand directly in front of the mirror. Take a few deep, centering breaths. Then make direct eye contact with your reflection. Hold your own gaze. This can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you have deep-seated issues with self-acceptance. This discomfort is a sign that you are touching on something important, the declaration of worth. Begin to speak aloud, directly to your reflection. Start with simple foundational affirmations of your inherent value. Say them with conviction even if you don't fully believe them yet. I see you. Acknowledge your presence and your being. You are worthy. You are deserving. You are enough, just as you are. Specific money affirmations. Once you feel a slight shift in your energy, move to affirmations directly related to your financial reality. Remember to speak them as if they are already true. I am worthy of financial abundance. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. I attract wealth with joy and gratitude. My financial capacity is limitless. I am a magnet for prosperity. I am a wise steward of my finances. Addressing specific blocks. If you know of a specific subconscious belief, such as I'm bad with money or I don't deserve to be rich, you can directly address it. Look into your eyes and declare the opposite. I am good with money. I'm capable of managing and growing wealth. I deserve to be rich. I release all beliefs that I don't deserve abundance. Feel the emotion. As you speak these affirmations, try to connect with the feeling of them. Feel the peace, security, and freedom that comes with being worthy of wealth. This emotional resonance is crucial for reprogramming. Consistency is key. This practice is most effective when done daily, or at least several times a week, for a sustained period. It takes repetition to overwrite old programming. I remember working with a client, Maria, who felt a deep-seated guilt every time she earned more money. Her subconscious believed she was somehow taking from others, or that her earnings were undeserved. During her Mirror of Worth practice, she'd often tear up when she said, I am worthy of abundance. It was raw and emotional. We focused on affirmations that celebrated her unique contributions and the value she brought to her clients. Over time, as she consistently spoke these truths to herself, the guilt began to fade, replaced by a quiet confidence. Her mirror reflected back a woman who was not just deserving, but actively embracing her prosperity. This practice is a direct act of self-reclamation, allowing you to become the alchemist of your own self-image, and by extension, Your financial reality. Chapter 12. The Forgiveness Ledger. Releasing spiritual guilt around financial success for many who walk a spiritual path. The desire for wealth can be fraught with internal conflict. There's often a subtle or not so subtle feeling of guilt associated with wanting or having money. This stems from a misunderstanding of spiritual principles, leading to beliefs that material prosperity is somehow incompatible with spiritual growth, or that suffering is a sign of purity. This creates a deep energetic blockage, a spiritual guilt that actively sabotages abundance. The Forgiveness Ledger is a powerful alchemical tool designed to address this specific form of energetic entanglement. It's not about justifying materialism, but about liberating yourself from the shame and confusion that can arise when you reconcile your spiritual values with your desire for financial freedom. The principle is simple. Unforgiveness, whether towards yourself, others, or circumstances, creates energetic knots. These knots drain your energy, create resistance, and prevent the free flow of abundance. By consciously choosing forgiveness, you untangle these knots, freeing up immense energy for your prosperity. Here's how to implement the Forgiveness Ledger. Create your ledger. Designate a section in your journal or a dedicated notebook as your Forgiveness Ledger. You can draw a simple line down the middle, creating 2 columns. Identify the sources of guilt, resentment. Think broadly about all the ways you might feel spiritual guilt or resentment related to money. Consider self-forgiveness for past financial mistakes, for desiring wealth, for feeling envious, for not being spiritual enough. Forgiveness of others, for people who may have influenced your negative money beliefs, for those who have more than you and you feel resentful, for those who may have taken advantage of you financially. Forgiveness of circumstances, for the economic system, for societal norms that make wealth seem unspiritual, for past hardships. Forgiveness of concepts, for the idea that money is inherently evil or that spirituality and wealth cannot coexist. The act of writing. In the left column of your ledger, write down the person, situation, belief, or concept you are choosing to forgive. Be specific. For example, left column, my guilt for wanting to be rich. Left column, my resentment towards my father for his constant talk of financial struggle. Left column, the belief that I must suffer to be spiritual, though declaration of release. In the right column, write your declaration of release and your chosen energetic intention. This is the alchemical transformation. Right column, I release this guilt and embrace my abundance with peace. Right column, I release this resentment and choose to see my father's energy with compassion and understanding. Right column, I release this limiting belief and embrace the truth that spirituality and prosperity are divinely aligned. Right column, I choose peace, freedom, and abundance. Focus on intention. The power of this practice lies in the conscious intention to forgive and release. As you write, feel the weight lifting. Visualize the energetic knots untangling. Regular practice. Commit to revisiting your forgiveness ledger regularly. You might choose to add new entries as they arise, or to reread existing ones to reinforce the release. This practice is particularly potent because it directly addresses the conflict between spiritual ideals and material desires. It helps you understand that true spirituality is about wholeness, and embracing abundance is not a contradiction, but an expression of divine abundance within you. I recall working with a woman who was a devoted yoga instructor. She felt immense guilt every time she charged students for her classes, believing it was somehow materialistic. She'd written, "My guilt for charging for yoga," in the left column of her ledger. In the right, she wrote, "I release this guilt and embrace the truth that my offering is valuable and deserves to be compensated, allowing me to continue serving fully." This simple act of writing, combined with the intention, began to shift her energetic resistance, allowing her to feel more confident and her practice to flourish, serving more people from a place of empowered generosity. The forgiveness ledger is a sacred space for alchemical healing. Chapter 13. Quantum Leap. Integrating elevated being into financial manifestation. We've journeyed through the foundational alchemical principles, from understanding consciousness to practical tools for energetic transformation. Now we step into the realm of quantum wealth, understanding that true manifestation operates at the fundamental energetic level of reality. This isn't about manipulating external circumstances as much as it is about becoming the energetic signature that naturally attracts your desires. The quantum perspective offers a profound shift. Instead of focusing on the doing of manifestation, affirmations, visualizations, actions, we prioritize the being. When you are a vibrational match for your desires, the universe conspires to bring them into your experience with ease. This is where the concept of elevated being becomes paramount. Elevated being is not about perfection. It's about resonance. It's crucial to understand that elevated being does not imply achieving some unattainable state of constant bliss or flawlessness. True elevation is about raising your dominant vibrational frequency, aligning your core energetic signature with the states of abundance, gratitude, trust, and love. It's about consciously choosing to embody these qualities more often than not. How to integrate elevated being. Embodiment practices. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's about embodying the feelings and qualities of the wealthy, abundant person you wish to become, before the external reality fully matches. Physical embodiment. How does an abundant person walk, talk, and carry themselves? Practice walking with confidence, speaking with clarity and conviction, and holding yourself with poise. Emotional embodiment. Consciously choose to cultivate feelings of gratitude, joy, security, and generosity throughout your day. Actively seek out experiences and thoughts that generate these emotions. Mental embodiment. Shift your dominant thought patterns from scarcity and doubt to abundance and trust. Regularly question limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering truths. The quantum leap of faith. At some point, you must make a leap of faith. This means acting as if your desires are already manifesting, not in a delusional way, but in a way that reflects your aligned energetic state. This might mean making a financial commitment that feels bold but aligned, starting a new venture with unshakable belief, or trusting that a seemingly challenging situation is actually a stepping stone. It's a demonstration to the universe that you are ready to receive. Detachment from the outcome. This is a cornerstone of quantum manifestation. While you hold a clear vision of your desires, you release the frantic need for them to appear in a specific way or by a specific time. This detachment creates energetic space, allowing the universe to bring you the highest and best version of your manifestation, which may be even better than you initially imagined. When you are not desperately attached to the outcome, you are operating from a place of trust and allowing, which is a powerful attractor. Conscious creation as a way of life. Elevated being transforms manifestation from a series of techniques into a way of life. It's about living in a constant state of awareness, intention, and alignment. Every thought, every word, every action is a conscious contribution to the reality you are creating. This means taking responsibility for your energetic state and understanding that you are the co-creator of your experience. I had a client, Anya, who was a struggling musician. She had talent, but her career was stalled. She tried everything, submitting demos, playing gigs, networking. Nothing seemed to work. We shifted her focus from the action of getting famous to the being of a celebrated artist. She started embodying the confidence, the presence, and the joy of an artist whose work touched people. She began dressing and speaking as if her music was already resonating globally. She committed to daily practices that cultivated this internal state, even if the external reality hadn't caught up. Within 6 months, a major record label contacted her, not because she'd bombarded them with submissions, but because her energetic signature had shifted, making her a magnetic attractor of the opportunities she embodied. This is the quantum leap, integrating your elevated being into the fabric of your reality, allowing the universe to respond in kind. Chapter 14. Embodiment. Becoming the vessel for financial abundance. Embodiment is the alchemical process of integrating your elevated consciousness and desired reality into the very core of your being. It's not just about thinking or feeling abundant. It's about being abundant so that your physical presence and energetic field naturally attract prosperity. This is the ultimate transformation, where your outer reality becomes a true reflection of your inner alchemical mastery. Embodiment is the bridge between the unseen energetic realm and the tangible world. It's about making your desires so real within you that the universe has no choice but to manifest them externally. Key principles of embodiment for financial abundance. Living the feeling. As we've discussed, feeling is the secret. Embodiment takes this a step further. It means actively living the feelings of abundance as much as possible in your everyday actions. If you desire financial freedom, how would you act with that freedom? Would you be more generous, more relaxed, more willing to invest in yourself? Practice those behaviors now. If you desire security, how does that security feel in your body? Practice carrying yourself with that inner calm and trust, even when facing challenges. Aligning your physical environment. Your surroundings are a powerful energetic amplifier. Embodiment involves creating a physical space that resonates with the abundance you wish to attract. Declutter and organize. Physical clutter can create mental and energetic clutter. A clear space invites clear energy and clear opportunities. Symbolic wealth. Surround yourself with symbols of prosperity that uplift you. Beautiful art, plants, inspiring objects, or even images of your financial goals. A sacred financial sanctuary. Designate a space, however small, that feels like a sanctuary for your financial well-being. A place where you manage finances with clarity, peace, and intention. Speaking your truth with authority. Your words are powerful, energetic tools. Embodiment means speaking about your financial vision, your goals, and your worthiness with clarity, confidence, and conviction. When you talk about your financial aspirations, do you sound hopeful or desperate? Do you speak with certainty or with doubt? Practice speaking about your desires as if they are already a present reality, or an unfolding certainty, aligned actions as natural expressions. When you are embodied, your actions become natural expressions of your abundant being, rather than forced efforts. Instead of forcing yourself to network, you find yourself naturally connecting with aligned individuals. Instead of forcing yourself to learn about investing, you feel a genuine curiosity and desire to grow your financial knowledge. These actions feel less like tasks and more like opportunities for growth and contribution. The energetic signature of wealth. What is the energetic signature of a wealthy person? It's often a blend of confidence, generosity, wisdom, calm, and a clear sense of purpose. Embodiment is about cultivating these qualities within yourself, so that your entire energetic field radiates abundance. When you embody wealth, you begin to attract opportunities, people, and resources that are a vibrational match to this embodied state. I worked with a writer who dreamed of publishing a novel. She'd spent years writing, but her energy was one of struggle and self-doubt. We focused on embodying a published author. She started by creating a dedicated writing space that felt inspiring, speaking about her book as my upcoming novel, and consciously carrying herself with the quiet confidence of someone who had already achieved her goal. She'd practiced the feelings of joy and fulfillment associated with her book's success. Within a year, she secured a reputable literary agent and a publishing deal. It wasn't just about the writing. It was about embodying the identity and energy of the author she wished to become. This is the power of embodiment, transforming your inner state into your outer reality, becoming the vessel for the abundance you seek. Chapter 15. The Sacred Sanctuary, Energetic Boundaries for Prosperity. In the journey of alchemizing wealth, establishing clear energetic boundaries is as crucial as any technique or practice. Boundaries are not about creating walls to keep things out. They are about creating sacred spaces for what you wish to invite in. They are about protecting your energy, preserving your vibration, and ensuring that your pursuit of abundance is rooted in clarity, integrity, and conscious choice. Think of your energetic field as your personal abundance sanctuary. Without clear boundaries, this sanctuary can become infiltrated by low-frequency energies, draining your resources and hindering your prosperity. Key areas for energetic boundaries. Energetic boundaries with people. Identify energy vampires. Be aware of individuals who consistently drain your energy, leave you feeling depleted, or bring you down with negativity. While compassion is important, you must protect your energetic reserves. Set limits on conversations. Gently steer conversations away from topics that consistently trigger scarcity, complaining, or negativity, especially if they are pervasive in your interactions. Learn to say no. Not every request or opportunity is aligned with your highest good. Saying no to what drains you frees up energy for what nourishes and expands you. This is a vital act of self-stewardship, energetic boundaries with information. Curate your input. In today's information-saturated world, we are constantly bombarded with news, social media feeds, and external influences. Be discerning about what you consume. Constant exposure to negative news or content that promotes scarcity can significantly lower your vibration. Limit exposure. If certain news outlets or social media platforms consistently leave you feeling anxious or depleted, consciously limit your exposure. Energetic boundaries with finances. Mindful spending. This is about conscious choice, not restriction. Before making a purchase, ask, does this truly serve my highest good? Does it align with my vision of abundance? Is this an inspired purchase or a fearful one? Protect your financial energy. Be cautious about sharing your financial plans or status with those who might project their own fears or judgments onto you. Your financial journey is sacred. Value your contributions. When offering your services or products, set clear, energetic boundaries around pricing. Don't undervalue yourself out of fear of rejection or scarcity. Your pricing should reflect the value you provide and your own sense of worthiness. Energetic boundaries with your environment. Physical space. Ensure your living and working spaces are energetically clean and supportive. Regularly declutter, smudge if that resonates with you, or simply ensure your space feels calming and inspiring. Energetic contamination. Be mindful of environments that feel energetically heavy or negative. If possible, limit your exposure to such places, or consciously protect your energy when you are there. How to establish and maintain boundaries. Clarity of intention. Begin by setting a clear intention to protect your energy and maintain your abundance frequency. Awareness. Pay attention to how different people, situations, and inputs make you feel. Your emotional and physical responses are key indicators. Assertiveness with compassion. Express your boundaries clearly and kindly. You don't need to be aggressive to maintain your energetic sovereignty. Phrases like, "I'm not able to take on that responsibility right now," or "I need to focus on positive energy at the moment," can be very effective. Energetic shielding. Visualize yourself surrounded by a protective shield of golden light before entering situations that might be energetically challenging. This can create an invisible barrier that helps you maintain your vibration. I remember working with a client who was a brilliant healer, but she was constantly overwhelmed and exhausted. She was saying yes to every request for her time and energy from friends and family, often without any compensation. Her financial situation was precarious. We worked on establishing energetic boundaries around her time and services. She learned to politely decline requests that were not aligned with her energy or her business goals, and to charge appropriately for her healing work. It felt uncomfortable at first, but as she honored her own energetic needs, she found her energy levels soared, her financial flow improved dramatically, and she was able to serve her clients from a place of abundant energy, not depleted obligation. Establishing energetic boundaries is an act of self-love and a critical component of conscious, prosperous living. Conclusion: the pathway to permanent, high-vibration wealth manifestation. We have traversed a profound alchemical journey together. From understanding the fundamental nature of consciousness and its vibrational dance with reality, to the practical tools for healing subconscious blocks and embodying a state of pure abundance. The 22 alchemical keys we have explored are not mere concepts. They are the very essence of transforming your inner world to manifest lasting prosperity in your outer life. Remember, the path to permanent high-vibration wealth manifestation is not a race to the finish line, but a continuous conscious practice. It's about understanding that you are not merely trying to attract wealth, but to become the energetic signature of wealth itself. Here's a recap of the core principles that will guide your ongoing alchemical journey. Master your consciousness spectrum. Understand where you reside on the scale from scarcity to abundance, and actively choose to elevate your vibration. Dance with energy. Recognize that your financial reality is a reflection of your dominant energetic frequency. Align your emotions and beliefs with the abundance you desire. Unmask and rewrite subconscious scripts. Become aware of the hidden programming that may be sabotaging your success, and consciously reprogram these beliefs. Shift your desire. Move from wanting out of lack to desiring from a place of already feeling abundant, trusting in the universe's flow. Know your level. Honest self-assessment is your compass, guiding you on where to focus your alchemical efforts. Heal your emotions. Transmute resistance, guilt, and fear into worthiness and trust through emotional alchemy. Practice the tools. Consistently engage with gratitude, visualization, mirror work, and forgiveness to raise your vibration. Live in abundance frequency. Cultivate daily practices that reinforce your high vibration state. Act from inspired being. Align your actions with your elevated consciousness. Moving from hustle to flow, embody your wealth. Become the energetic match for the abundance you seek through conscious embodiment. Guard your sanctuary. Establish clear energetic boundaries to protect your vibration and ensure conscious prosperity. The greatest alchemy is the transformation of yourself. When you master your inner world, your outer world will invariably transform. Money is not the ultimate goal. It is a tool, a reflection, and a powerful force for good when wielded from a place of elevated consciousness and genuine worthiness. Continue to practice, continue to trust, and continue to embody the abundant alchemist you were always meant to be. The universe is ready to respond to the magnificent vibration you radiate. This is Elias Vance, reminding you, the greatest wealth you will ever own is the knowledge of who you truly are.